All right. I guess we are starting now. Good evening, everybody.
Hello,
Any,
hello. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So I'm David Boyles from Virtual Arizona Pride, here with the beautiful Felicia Fifi Miner.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Hello, everybody. And it's so great to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Virtual Arizona Pride. Who could believe that a year ago we were like ready to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then turn around and hopefully things are turning out for the better. Get vaccinated. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
along with that, we have made many connections. We have made many friends, and here we are a year later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's kind of the idea for this event was so that we've done our third Saturday programming all day today. Hopefully you've all been able to check that out. Had a lot of really awesome events, like always, from our friends GLSEN Phoenix, Big Brothers Big Sisters, did an info session on their LGBT specific programming that they do. We had Drag Story Hour, of course, as always. Bloom 365 did a great session on healthy relationships. Marshall Shore.
We all need that.
Yeah. Marshall Shore in Arizona LGBT History Project, talking about trans history. And yeah, that's the idea. Was it was April of last year, of course. April 4th and 5th was originally, of course, the date for Phoenix Pride, that first weekend in April, as it typically is. And the middle of March. Down. Yeah, like middle of March is when when everything happened last year, got shut down. This was one of the first Pride festivals in the world to get affected because of the the fact that we do it in early April, unlike June, like most other places. And so yeah, we kind of scrambled. Last year, a bunch of us got together. We're like, what do we want to do? Do we we want to try to do something still? And kind of threw this thing together, very slapdash, very DIY. And it's still a very kind of slapdash DIY thing a year later. I think we're getting better, but it's very much a grassroots thing we've been doing here. And as Felicia said, we have all kinds of awesome people that we've worked with over this last year. And so, invited some folks here tonight to talk a little about, doing that event last year, what this last year has been like, trying to still build that sense of community for our Arizona LGBTQ community when we can't be together. Yeah, and then looking forward to the future. I got my second shot yesterday.
Woo! And how are you feeling today?
Feeling better now. I took a nap right before now, so that was good. This morning I was feeling pretty rough. Yeah, I was. Before we came on, we were talking. Like middle of the night last night, I woke up feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. So that was rough. But, yeah. Yeah. So let's go ahead.
You're vaccinated. You're vaccinated. You're vaccinated. But I want to tell the people that behind the scenes, David does a lot of I want to call it the cat corral of the programming and getting everything situated, lining up the times and getting all that set up. Just a few of us on the other side come through and do like social media posts and help with marketing. But David does like the runt of it all. And it has been phenomenal. The partners that you have brought on board and all the things that we have learned. So let's not forget to tell people about that. That's very important. I don't know if I could corral all these cats.
Yeah. I mean, as things came together, wasn't really sure how I became the person who did that, but I did, and it's been fun. And it's been great. I've met so many people that I have not actually met in person that I'm looking forward to, eventually getting to meet in person. We got to work with over this last year. So, that's what we want to talk about a little as well is, we are now hopefully the light at the end of the tunnel is here with the pandemic, knock on wood. So, what are we doing going forward now as a community, what we're going to do, with Virtual Pride. So we have a bunch of guests tonight, some really awesome guests who were part of the program last year, have been part, the things we've been doing over this last year. So we're going to go ahead and introduce them and get into it. So we'll start with our executive director of Virtual Arizona Pride, one of our kind of the core members of the team, who's been with us from the beginning, really actually where this idea originated from, with Free Mom Hugs Arizona.
The brain of.
Yeah, so everybody say hello to Shannon Black.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Shannon. How are you?
I am.
Yeah.
We're just rocking and rolling this weekend, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With my dog and possibly my cat soon. Who knows? So.
Yeah, we already had a cat cameo before we went live.
Yeah. One of my cats is going to be my version of London, I swear.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. So Shannon, you were the brainchild of Virtual Arizona Pride. For those that are watching for the first time and maybe don't know the story, how did this all come to be? David kind of breezed over it, but tell us the play-by-play and then how we have gotten to where we are.
So this is the fault of my leadership team at Free Mom Hugs Arizona. The fault or the brainchild. So we had our very first Free Mom Hugs Arizona board meeting once I conned 4 other people into forming a board with me back in March last year. And it was shortly after Phoenix Pride had announced that they were going to be postponing. And we were just talking and trying to come up with some ideas of things we could do over the weekend to post on our page and in our groups and engage folks that would be missing the opportunity to come together for an actual in-person Pride. So we were throwing out ideas like your favorite memory from Pride and show us your favorite Pride outfit and just a number of different, what does Pride mean to you? Just some different posts trying to engage and connect with people. And Julia Morris, my vice president, and hopefully eventually co-leader of this crazy bus that I drive, throughout, it's like we can do like a virtual Pride. And the light bulb went off in my brain. And I went, oh my gosh, we need to make this happen. So I think during that meeting, it was in the middle of our Zoom call, just kind of talking about how we can keep people engaged while everybody was hopefully quarantining last year. I messaged David and Christopher Hall and I think Lenore and Michelle over at Drag Story Hour, who at the time were the people that I had connected with the most through Free Mom Hugs Arizona, because if there was a Drag Story Hour event, we made sure that we had huggers at those events. And I said, we just had this idea and how can we make it happen? And I think David messaged me like right away the next morning and he was like, all right, we could set up this Google form and blah, blah, blah. And we already were like on the same page. And David, just like he does every single time we have a third Saturday, he took it and he ran. And Christopher had so many contacts and so many amazing people that he knows. And we ended up, wasn't it, David, like 4 days later, 5 days later, we had this huge big group meeting with representatives, I think, of all of the Pride organizations in Arizona, and the sisters were there. Yeah. And I mean, there were just a bunch of us and we threw out like, this is what we think. And I think everybody thought we were insane because we were, but they were, I kind of got the feeling after that everybody was kind of well, let's see how this goes before we really sign on to be a part of it. And then it just grew and we started, we had planned for a day's worth of programming and we ended up with, Friday night and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. And it was like back to back to back to back. And it was really
overlapping. Like one thing we don't do
overlapping
now
in a lot of cases. Yeah.
We try to schedule everything, where they're not overlapping. But that time we had sometimes 2 or 3 events happening because
because there were so many people that were involved and wanted to be involved. Wow. And I think because we were one of the first virtual events, because it came up so quickly after, it was 3 weeks maybe after kind of everything really shut down. We had some media coverage, which was really exciting. yeah, and so here we are. And then after that, we all went, wait, we could do this like every month, and quickly realized that was a crazy thing to do. And then that's when we called you and Shannon and said, we need you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it. Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. And luckily, David was the one I messaged because he is this like organizational god.
He's beast mode when it comes to organizing.
Serious beast mode. Well, I mean, you're no slouch yourself, my friend.
Yeah. I yes, but
so yeah. I mean, I've pretty much been able to kind of sit back and look cute and let things happen as they do, and it's just been amazing. So
yeah, I think it was. I mean, I remember we had that first meeting, and there was probably 40 something people on the call.
Yeah, it was big.
Reached out. We had all these people. And yeah, there was definitely like the hesitancy of like, was there enough time? And then that was like the way my brain works was then it became like a challenge. Like now we're gonna do this.
Now we're gonna like I always said to my avid students, prove them wrong. So yeah. And I think if I recall correctly, I can't remember the number. David, you probably know the number, but I remember it was 12 days. From the time that we had that first initial meeting, it was 12 days until we had our first program on Friday evening.
That was a Monday night. And then we started, that Friday, less than 2 weeks later. Yeah,
less than 2 weeks later. So, and it was like 50 some odd events that first weekend. So it was really exciting.
Like 55 events. Yeah.
Yeah. We even had a special Fifi on Saturday or Sunday.
I was just one of the.
But
actually, you pulled double duty because you also did a story hour.
You also did Drag Story Hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot about that.
You really liked us. And that was really when I got to really get to know you, Felicia, was through that process and more after that. So that was exciting.
So I became involved after all the hoopla, but I was involved in the events but I forgot that I had done like 2 or more. And that continued through the pandemic, which we are still in a pandemic, if anybody needed a reminder. But
because I really want to give hugs again. Just
well, that leads me to my next question. What are some things that you're looking forward to as we slowly get back to seeing each other in person?
So I will tell you that I am super, super, super excited about the event in Tucson, the Mother's Day Eve brunch. That is organized by. I know I'm super excited. But organized by our dear friend Christopher J. Hall, aka Miss Nature, and then hosted by our lovely Felicia Minor and Freddie Prinze Charming.
Correct.
So I'm excited about that. I just honestly I miss loving on people, like doing the mom thing, right? We're gonna start sending out some super fun little care packages, and it's gonna be, we're super momming it up. Let me tell you, it's we're gonna do super momming up. So I've learned to crochet. Let me just put it that way.
Is that going well?
Well, not
another
right
time
now because of my thumb, but I'm getting there. So I'm excited just to be able to hug again. I miss hugs.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think that's kind of why you guys started, right? Was Free Mom Hugs. I think most people know of you, seeing you at the Pride events. That's what Free Mom Hugs does. They're there to, at the Pride events and other things, to provide support, to go up and hug people who don't have family support. And so, when we were not able to leave our houses and not able to go out, and congregate together, it's about looking for other ways to do that.
Right. Other ways to connect with the community, to be present, that kind of a thing. So we're excited about that. We're excited to hopefully get to hug soon.
Cool. All right. So we got some other great folks on here I want to bring in as well.
It's not just the me show.
What's that?
It says not just the me show.
Yeah. we could do a whole hour on Shannon and how she's wonderful. We'll do that another
and all the things that she's involved. Yes, we could. All the things that you're involved in.
Our next guest here, someone, if you were around last year for the events, I think was also involved in multiple events eventually. Was at the time working as part of GLSEN Phoenix, was actually in charge of the GLSEN Phoenix Pride Parade entry. Done that for a couple of years. That's how I actually got to know her. was doing the youth outreach for them with the GSAs, and then had to move all that online and did an amazing job with that.
Amazing
so we welcome Becca Shimmick.
Hi.
Hi, Becca.
Hi.
Actually, Becca, did I get your last name right? I just realized I don't know if I know. Semick? Okay. Yeah, I always put the SH in there for some reason.
I've gotten Schmeck. I've gotten, I've got the whole thing, so it's fine.
Oh my goodness.
So how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. It's hard to believe it's been a year already.
I know.
I mean, it's weird in that sometimes it's been a year already, but also it seems like so long.
The longest year ever.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I've met so many amazing, incredible people and like really gotten to know people in a different way in this last year. But I'm kind of over it, and now I want to go like have lunch with those people and hang out.
Yeah, it's like I want to meet you in person now because like
exactly.
Yeah.
So Becca, tell us about your year and how this has affected you and some of the programming that you have provided on Virtual Arizona Third Saturdays. Let's roll that all into one.
Yeah. So I was there for that first community meeting that you all had for the first Virtual Pride, and so that was really cool to be a part of. Like, being part of the second meeting, being part of it closer to the actual event, I'm sure was also very cool. But just to be there at like the genesis of it and to like hear those initial conversations was so cool, because I feel like that had to have been one of the first times that like all of these organizations, not just in Phoenix, but in North Arizona and Southern Arizona, like just coming together and talking about like, what can we do? Like, we're not just in the true, spirit of the LGBT community with our resiliency. Like, what are we going to do about it? Like, we're not just going to sit back and not do anything. So it was so cool to be part of that initial conversation and just like the different ideas that people were bringing to the table. And I know for us at GLSEN Phoenix, we were thinking like, well, we can't just stop this work, right? How are we going to translate this? How can we make the most of this opportunity? And so there was definitely like two questions that came up for me, really just coming down to the real spirit of GLSEN Phoenix. Like, who are we? Like, who are we as an organization? And what do we have to offer? Right. And so really distilling it down, because from there, we're able to say like, well, these are our major program offerings. Let's do this virtual. So how can we do this virtual? What are the main pieces of it? And use this as a real opportunity to outreach to the community, right? In a way that we've never been able to done at Phoenix Pride, like in person, right? There's only so much you can do at a booth, right? There's only so much you can tell people about yourself as you're marching past them down the street, right? And so to be able to have more of this conversation with folks and say like, hey, like we're going to have a program or a program catered to GSA students and educators. Hey, we have a separate program just about training educators in inclusive curriculum. We're going to have another one about public policy and how it affects LGBTQ youth. And we're going to have another one just about how to get involved with GLSEN Phoenix. We're a volunteer-run organization. How can you get involved? And so to be able to we had 4. We were probably one of the few organizations that had that many.
I think you had the most of any organization.
I think we won that one. And so we were just like, well, we want to make the most of it. We want to let people know everything that we do and show that there's really an opportunity for people to get plugged in, right? That we have something for you. Right. And so that was so cool. And I just remember that very first, virtual Pride event where I did an event just for students and for educators in GSAs. And one of them, I'll never forget, one student was saying how this is the first Pride I've ever gone to because it's virtual, because my parents would never allow me to go in person.
I think I was in there.
Yeah.
I think I was in that.
It was so moving. And it was just like, wow, like being virtual, not only is it like, okay, we're adapting to these weird, challenging times. It's also like, wow, we are realizing how much more there is to offer people. We're realizing that there are avenues that we've neglected. And honestly, it was like things that I think people had in the back of their minds or had thought about, like, oh, well, maybe we'll do like a virtual program so more people will come. But we didn't really pursue it because we're like, are people ready for a virtual program? Like, are people going to actually show up? And it's like, now people are funneled into this. Like there's literally nothing else. So now's the chance. Right. And I think what's really great about it is I don't think we're ever really going to go back, right? We're not really going to go back to the way things were. It's going to be some kind of hybrid of in-person and virtual events, because we see the benefit of having virtual events. We see the accessibility, right? Just like in terms, especially with youth, of being able to attend things and feel a sense of community that they might not be able to attend, right? Or even just like mobility accessibility, right? Like some people literally can't make it to Pride. Transportation issues, right? So many things that include more people in the community, which I think is really great.
And we had that totally was, sorry, I think David, you were going the same direction I was.
Yeah, I think it's David. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Free Mom Hugs are offering that weekend, because we can't hug virtually. It's kind of hard, you know. But we did a number of coffee chats and happy hours. We may have tied with you in number of events, but I remember one of them, Marshall Shore was in, and we were talking about, David, I think you may have been in that one too. We were talking about how unique the event had been, because exactly what you said, it was an opportunity for educational events. We had some worship, you know, and spiritual events, different kinds of things that you would not find at a normal Pride, or a traditional Pride, I should say, or a regular Pride, right? And you also hit on the other pieces, like people who can't get to Pride, kids who can't get to Pride because their parents won't let them go, or people who don't have the financial means or the physical means to go to an in-person Pride event. And it was an opportunity for us to, and I think that's kind of what drove our desire to continue this past that one weekend, was that opportunity to provide programming throughout the state of Arizona. And I know that was a huge push for Christopher, especially those rural communities that don't have a lot of resources and connection. So it was very exciting.
Yeah, I remember that in the first meeting, we were, you know, basically talking about, and even like talking names, and like someone, and I think originally we were going to call it, you know, virtual Phoenix Pride or whatever. And someone was like, well, it doesn't have to be Phoenix because it's virtual, you know? And, you know,
very true.
That was like, it seemed like such a dumb thing, like an obvious thing, but it was like a light bulb for me. I'm like, oh yeah. And yeah, so that's why we had, you know, we worked with, you know, Flagstaff, Bisbee, Navajo Nation.
And still working with.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then,
still,
going out
make
to
those connections.
Right. And then, the folks in the rural areas who can't come to a Pride event. And the young people, obviously that's a big thing for me. And actually it's a nice transition to our last guest here to introduce.
Yeah.
It's almost like we planned it.
Yeah. And that was,
it's almost like being on Let's Have a Fifi.
We're not quite that professional and smooth as you are. And
I never claimed to be a professional, I promise.
But yeah, you know, so I worked with Becca, like I mentioned, doing the GLSEN Phoenix Pride events. And that was always such an amazing thing for me, going there and seeing these like literally hundreds of high school kids.
So I have one little commentary. I had met Becca like a couple months before at you know, their annual event. And
Sparkle,
yeah. And then all of a sudden, boom, closed. And then like all of these events, and I'm learning all about GLSEN. So I say kudos to Free Mom Hugs and GLSEN for rock. Because I mean, I had seen all of you. I had taken pictures with Shannon. I had, you know, met you. And then all of a sudden I have met David a couple times in person because of Drag Story Hour and because he has other events that he attends too. And then it was like, boom, nobody, like absolutely nobody. And this was a way to connect full throttle with like all three of you.
Right.
So, and more.
And then you got to do my kiddos' senior pictures.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yes. I'm still working on them, by the way.
It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, to introduce our guest here. So focusing on queer youth has been a big focus of mine. During that, you know, spring of 2020, I was actually teaching a class at ASU. It was called Queer Youth in Pop Culture and Politics. It was a special part of this kind of special program at ASU, classes for first-year students to kind of build community for them, give us as faculty a chance to teach topics that we don't normally teach, which is why I did this. Overlapped it with my work with Drag Story Hour. And yeah, and part of one really cool thing about this class is they actually gave me money for field trips. So we actually took, it was very nice. So we
Are you
actually,
teaching that in the fall by any chance?
I am, yeah. It is only, it's for College of Liberal Arts and Sciences students though, so I don't know.
Dang,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Not fair. Can you make an exception?
What about non-first year
sticklers on that. Yeah.
I mean,
A third Saturday version. How about that?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
Yeah,
that.
we can do that. I think I'm gonna do something like that. We're gonna, so yeah, we'll talk.
Seniors in college can't take
But yeah,
that.
so we went, it was March 7th, I believe. Yeah, it was the Saturday, March 7th. Beginning of our spring break at ASU, we actually took a field trip to Tucson for a drag story hour event we did down there with the Institute for LGBT Studies. Got to take the whole class down there for that. And then that turned out to be the last time I ever got to see them in person, because then, yeah, no, it was really sad, because then it was during spring break week that, we went online and then, never went back. And I had also planned a trip to Phoenix Pride, and actually got the school again to put up the money to buy tickets for Phoenix Pride and everything.
Wow.
And they were going to, do a project around that. And so I had to basically scrap the whole second half of the semester that I had planned, and, redo it, for being online. And what I ended up doing was basically enlisting them as part of Virtual Arizona Pride. And they ended up putting on their own event. They organized this educational workshop based on the projects they were doing, the research they were doing, on various topics related to what we've been talking about with queer youth. And we have a group of them tonight. We have 3 of them that are here with us to talk about that. So we've got Lauren, Griselda, and Max. So welcome you guys in. Hello.
Max has changed his shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me put on a jacket. Yeah. He's wearing the same shirt. It's just a jacket on top.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's not like it's cold in here. He just went, you know what sounds like a good idea? A jacket.
Yeah. Just wanted to,
it's all about the look. It's all about the look. It's all about the look. I was wearing a jacket before this too. Don't worry, I was.
See, but you look nice without the jacket. We have Max.
How are you all doing? This is the first time we got to actually, talk to you all in quite a while. So how are you?
Vibing.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It sounds like my kiddo. So awesome. Apparently she will fit in at ASU.
Yeah. It'll be good. So yes, you all want to tell us a little about the experience on your end of last year with our class, and then ending up being involved in Virtual Pride?
Virtual Pride the first time was a little anxiety inducing, because it's like, okay, I have to give this presentation to a bunch of people.
Thousands of people.
Yeah.
So it was a little stressful.
Definitely didn't feel qualified.
Yeah. It was like, there's all these awesome people, and then there's us, kind of like now. There's all these awesome people, and
I'm not as awesome as you think I am.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
No, you are all equally awesome. That's why I invited you last year to be a part of it. That's why you guys are here tonight. You're equally awesome. So, yeah.
You're stroking my ego. Thank you.
Mom hugs. Mom hugs for you.
So before Virtual Arizona Pride, had you guys ever given a presentation virtually to an audience that you didn't know?
No,
not at all.
I've given a lot of in-person presentations.
To people. Okay, so how was the transition from doing in person to virtual? You said anxiety-inducing, but expand. Let people know how that went for you.
I had to worry about my dogs. Yeah, so I have really big, loud dogs. So that was interesting.
Okay.
That's like every day of my life at work.
For me, I didn't think about it until, I was doing it. So I kind of, reality didn't hit until like midway through.
Oh, ooh, I've been there.
I was personally worried about all the tech stuff. I'm like, if something fails, if it fails on our end, it's going to look so floppy. Like, it's going to be so tragic and sad.
That's actually the reason I handed off all the technology off to Griselda for our presentation.
Oh, so she can have the anxiety. I see. You just wanted one person to have the anxiety over the tech, and then everybody else just worry about what's happening. I get it.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, though, and actually Julia, who we talked about earlier, just put in the comments on Facebook that we didn't know we were doing either. And I think that's an important thing.
True story.
And we
I also want to note that Julia wants to know if we're going to audit the class, and if we can audit the class, I'll be there too. Thank you.
Right.
I'm thinking about how to do this.
I'm going to petition you to let my kiddo in. I'm just let the weird computer science kid go.
We're just going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Well, another question I wanted to ask you all. I think we talked about this, back then. It's been a while. Have you, since we haven't done it last year, any of you been to an in-person Pride event, before everything happened last year?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
No
It was
doubt.
fun.
Okay.
Very hot.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to a big one. I'd been to like county, but not like Phoenix.
I see.
My high school did like merch thing with a different high school for my stuff, so we just were actually in the parade, and then we went to the festival.
Your high school was in the Pride Parade?
Yeah, so we marched alongside another one of our high schools in the district. So it was them and us, and we marched together, like the GSAs did. That's what I meant to clarify. GSAs did.
Yeah. Was that Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did that.
Okay, shout out to the GSAs. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yes. So since you had experienced Pride in person, what was the differences that you feel happened at virtual Arizona Pride versus the in-person?
I feel like there was a lot more to do at virtual Arizona Pride, because it's at Phoenix Pride, there's the parade, and then there's the festival, but there's not things specifically to do. Whereas with virtual Pride, there's people you can listen to talk, and things you can watch. So it's more stuff to actively watch, listen to.
Oh, speaking of dogs, there they are.
We have dogs.
It's okay, Becca. It's okay.
Yeah.
I have learned through this Zoom pandemic, that's what I'm calling it, a Zoom pandemic, that you expect, in my house, babies to cry. You expect dogs to bark loudly at nothing. People walking by, maybe.
I'm surprised Narcissa has not made her appearance. So. Or Bella.
If you watch our show, Let's Have a Fifi, you see a cat on Freddie's end that just seems to walk across the screen, even though we've done this for almost 10 years, just walk across the screen. So anything that you would tell somebody that hasn't attended a virtual Arizona Pride event? That's for anybody to answer.
Attend.
Yeah, just go. There's no reason not to, and it's fun as hell.
I think it's I think one of the things I love so much about not just the original event, but what we've continued to do, I should say what David's continued to do, because so much of this has been driven by David being phenomenal and amazing, is there are so many opportunities for you to learn about things that you might not normally have been able to be involved in. For example, when I was still in the classroom and teaching kiddos, I would have loved to been more involved with GLSEN and having GLSEN involved in my schools and in my classroom. And actually one of the, I think former members of the board at GLSEN was one of my student teachers, which was really fun to learn during virtual Arizona Pride.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Karen Bird was one of my student teachers. Right? Shout out to Karen.
Oh my God.
I know.
I love how all of our
love
faces
you.
lit up as we were like,
right?
Karen!
Everybody knows her. And maybe it was before then, but yeah, you know, and I think being able to connect with so many different organizations that I wouldn't normally have had the time to go to an in-person event or go to an in-person workshop or whatever has been really exciting for me.
So I have a big question for everyone. So as we, because I've already asked Shannon this question, as we go back to in-person events, what is the biggest thing that you're looking forward to? Let's start with the three down here at the bottom.
Glitter.
Yes.
I'm most excited for glitter.
I remember you like had an outfit plan for Pride. I remember that.
I sweat glitter.
I made a tutu.
So
I'm excited to give these out again.
Mm-hmm.
We give these out when we hug or high five or fist bump people. And I want to plaster these all over people. I have thousands of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, actually, I remember that now. That was one of the things like made me very sad when we like officially like, you know, canceled, was that Lauren had already talked about, they had an outfit planned, a tutu and everything. Nice. And yeah, that was one of those like sad moments during that time.
Lauren, do you still have that tutu?
I do. I have to like alter it because I made it by hand. So it's probably stretched out over the last year. So
me too. That's why I'm wearing this muumuu, so you don't see all the love that has come to be.
The ribbon has stretched, so I have to tighten it. Because of how I
have to let stuff out. You go ahead and tighten. I have to let stuff out.
I'm with you, Fifi. I'm with you.
When you're a youth, that's what happens. Yeah. When you get older, then it's just letting stuff out. Yeah.
And that's what happened. Mm-hmm. They said pandemic. I said pan what? And whatever's in a pan is what I eat.
I feel that in my soul. Personally, I'm excited to meet people that I'm never going to see again. And like talk to them. That's just going to be really fun.
Wait, meet people that you'll never see again?
Yeah. So like connect with just random strangers and like let them continue to be strangers after that. Because like to me, there's nothing more personal than like making connections with people just in a day-to-day way.
I always get heartbroken though when that happens, because like, you mean we're not going to be best friends now? What? What do you mean?
I'll tell you what, some of the in-person hugs that I've given at Pride, I'm like, but I need to mom you. Come back and let me mom you forever. And I'm so sad that doesn't happen.
Next? Like, you don't want to go have lunch with me?
They're like, oh, no.
But I just held the door open for you.
No. They're besties now.
I do get what Griselda's saying, though. I think that is one of the good things about the in-person prides, which is something we don't get with these events. Is just seeing just the mass of people, seeing the outfits, and just seeing people you won't even maybe necessarily talk to, but just seeing them walk around with their cool outfit.
The energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The energy and the excitement that is sometimes hard to have in a virtual.
So I didn't think about this until the other day. I am big on selfies.
Yes, you are.
I'm still feeling a little bit weird about taking selfies with people, but I'm slowly getting back into it. So if you see me, we're taking a selfie. We don't have to be besties, but we're taking a selfie.
We did a good socially distanced selfie.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, if we take a screenshot right now, it's kind of like a selfie.
Oh, wait. Are you taking one now? Who's taking it?
Actually, that's a good idea. I should do that. I'm going to do that right now.
We need Max to come in a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to Here, look, I can stand and be that weirdo.
There we go.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be that guy.
Yep.
There we go. All right. There.
This might be my permanent location now.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, Becca, what about you?
I'm definitely just looking forward to being able to like gather, like just to congregate, to like gather in groups without worrying about the logistics or like having to sanitize every 5 seconds. Definitely just like the stress-free gatherings whenever that comes. And then also dancing, you know, going out dancing and just having fun with friends. And yeah, that's I used to do that. I was like, oh, I don't want to go dancing. I kind of regret that I didn't go dancing more. And I was like, oh, little did I know. But especially now, like my girlfriend, she loves to dance. And so she's like, I can't wait to go dancing. I'm like, I know.
Yeah. You're gonna be dancing a lot after this is over.
Yeah.
Just go dancing in the grocery store.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I
already
see people on TikTok. I think you need to work on that and put it on TikTok. I see people doing it all the time.
She's done that. Her and her girlfriend have a whole they have a whole TikTok.
Oh,
and
you're. Oh, wait a minute. We're not connected on TikTok
yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
The betrayal.
Yeah.
Very small following.
That's a betrayal right there.
I'm still old and not on
we were
TikTok.
besties. I thought we were besties.
I have 5 people on it, and most of my videos are private, so it's nothing personal.
It's not you, it's everyone. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, like it's just like I try to just keep my embarrassment to myself.
Oh, well, don't watch my videos then. They're full on embarrassment. I go ahead and let everybody enjoy on that.
Now, I've seen your videos and they are perfect. So
That means we follow them.
Yeah, that means you saw the videos.
No, I saw them when they got posted on Facebook.
But when I posted them on
Taking away
Facebook,
TikTok?
I put the TikTok. We're
Okay,
gonna talk after this. We're gonna talk after this.
I'm gonna do it right now, honestly.
I'm so old. I only see TikToks when Becca's girlfriend sends them to me in Facebook Messenger. So.
Oh,
I only see them on Tumblr.
Yeah.
is that what I need to do? Just send them to everybody individually?
Oh, great. At this point, Felicia's going to have to spend like her entire life on social media.
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
As one does.
Followed.
Oh, yes. And I will follow right back. So what are some predictions of the future? Are masks going to stick around? If they are, I need somebody to like give me a derma, derma peel, because the mask is like wearing on my skin.
I think for a while they will.
Yeah. It's
for me,
weird.
Oh, sorry, David.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
For me, I really like wearing them because it kind of masks like any sort of facial expression that I have. I don't have to put as much effort into being outwardly social or outwardly happy. I can just be me and vibe, and it's really nice. And at the same time, it sort of adds like this layer of like protection, almost like wearing sunglasses. If we get what we're going at.
And he can say stupid shit with like almost no repercussions.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it also is like physical representation of masking for like autism and ADHD. It's a physical representation, so it takes a lot of effort out of it, which means I can help.
Oh wow! I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at we're learning stuff.
All learning.
I see them differently if they go away, coming back in like winter, because they were kind of nice during that.
Oh yeah.
Kept your nose warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't kept
Brought a
preventing the
scarf,
flu.
and that's second best.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. If I only had to do makeup like from here up.
Oh yeah.
You save so much money.
So I am a person of RFB. I suffer from RFB quite chronically. Masks have been like this for me, just kind of nobody can see like this is not like they just go, oh, she must be smiling under there. No, I'm just saying good morning, just like this, and not going good morning. You know.
One thing I just realized yesterday when I posted my vaccine selfie is I don't know how to smize. So I just always look angry with the mask on. So I don't have anything up on the top,
Just watch 2 seasons of America's Next Top Model and you'll
That's all it is.
I've watched a lot of America's Next Top Model. I've heard Tyra talk about it, but I can't do it.
I just raised my eyebrows a little.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, the plan right now is, in November, I believe, will be the Phoenix Pride. I haven't heard what Bisbee and Flagstaff are doing in June.
Bisbee, as far as I know, is looking to do a reduced festival, so kind of like a couple of weekend things, smaller weekend things.
That's what I was thinking would be, by June, you could have like small crowds. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many people like are still wearing masks. How close people feel, how comfortable people feel getting close together, especially I think by November when, knock on wood, like most people are vaccinated and we are hopefully actually, starting to get past it. But then just like psychologically how people are going to be, about just being comfortable being around people and things like that.
Hashtag let's get vaccinated.
For me,
what was that? Griselda?
I said COVID has infiltrated my dreams. There's times where I'm having a dream and I'm like not wearing a mask and I'll start freaking out in my dream and trying to find a way to cover my face. It's literally, it's bad. It's really bad.
Or like,
oh my gosh.
And like nobody's wearing a mask in the movie, and like in the split second in your head, you're like, "Where's your mask?" And it's like it's a movie from like 1990 something or something like that. Yeah,
when there's like big crowd scenes,
pre-COVID TV shows.
I've seen no one complain about my thing. Like, am I alone? Am I the only one dreaming with COVID in their dreams? That's terrible. I don't like this.
Yeah, I haven't had COVID dreams. Definitely
have not either.
Anxiety of like, oh, I forgot my mask when I like walk outside or something like that.
I have done that. I have like gotten to a store and you're like, oh crap. But luckily places like Target have people that are like waiting to give you one. So that was okay. But like places that don't have them and they're like, you don't have a mask. And you're like, ah! So it's like, you're like, oh my God, I violated the rules and terms of this, this.
Yeah, well, there's the whole thing with the mask too, of like, if you're not wearing one, it's not only like, oh, you're not being safe, but then like, not wearing a mask sends a certain message, So what you want to be like, no, I didn't vote for Trump, I promise. Like, I just forgot it.
But I also have in the back of my mind, I have friends that come from other countries where they wear masks when you're sick. So in the back of my mind, I am still thinking that at the end of this, I will wear a mask when I have a cold, whenever I have like the flu or a bad allergy season like today.
My allergies have been the best they've been in years. Yeah.
It's probably because you've been inside most of the
Yeah, I'm outside, I'm wearing a mask. So yeah.
Yeah. So things like that, I will definitely the dog doesn't bother me. You see how I'm not even reacting. I reacted more when you turned the sound off. But I think that after I will totally be wearing masks when I don't feel well or when I feel. I think also that people have a better assessment of their dental hygiene. There have been times when I've been in conversations and people are like this close and you're like, I wish you could smell what I'm smelling.
Yeah.
And I think that the masks have like brought in like that. Oh, that stinks. And So.
No more in your face.
Hashtag no filter. Julia says, I have chronic bronchitis, I think I'm a mask long hauler now. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
My sister was commenting about how often she's gotten sick coming to visit and probably gotten sick like on the plane, and how much more aware she is of her own, like getting on a plane if she's sick. She lives up in Washington State and that kind of a thing. So I have a feeling there will be more masks than, no, for sure. Agreed.
I'm definitely hoping it becomes a cultural norm here because like it is other places. But we're always the last one on the boat. So, like, come on. Get it together, America. Come on.
Yes. So I know that even if I do wear a mask, I will be like one of those people will be like, really? And I'm one of the few people here in Arizona that carry an umbrella. So when it's hot, I don't, like, get the, like, instant contact of the sun. So, I mean, I learn from other cultures. I'm trying to be like, maybe they're right. Maybe they're onto something. They don't seem to be dying from skin cancer. Yes, Julia, planes are nasty. Julia says, planes are nasty. I was a flight attendant in another life. Yes. So I always carry an umbrella. I get made fun of because people are like, is it raining? I'm like, no, but sun rays kill your skin. Gross. Also, so do any of you, plan to attend a Pride event in person after this is all over?
I can't let the tutu go to waste.
Yeah. We're gonna go. Regardless of if Max wants to go, we're gonna go.
Max has an issue with the glitter.
Yeah.
Oh, so I sweat glitter, so we'll have to be I'll have to be nearby. It's okay.
Yeah, I promised them that when the next in-person Phoenix Pride, like I will still pay for their tickets because they got,
wow. Yeah. Can I be a part of that class too?
So my plan actually is to, if November happens, I'm going to invite all of them if they want to come from the old class, and I'm going to have the new class and bring them as well. And
put me on that.
Honestly, I'm just hoping that Phoenix Pride ends up staying in like November or like January or something.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be lovely?
That would be nice.
Yeah, I think
that's not early enough.
Yeah, it's always like. I mean, it was a joke that it was always the first top. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. As a person that wears like 7 nylons, I wish that Phoenix Pride was in November. Because have you ever danced in the heat and people are still trying to hand you money and you're trying to breathe and lip sync at the same time?
Have you ever stood in a parking lot trying to corral like 500 high schoolers like Becca and I have had to do for the GLSEN parade?
I can say that I have done something similar to that.
And they all want water.
Right. I just know Free Mom Hugs Arizona paid for a booth for last year, and it's still just sitting there waiting for us to use it. So we have lots of hugs to give and other fun little things that, because what the heck else have we had to do for the last year except for plan. So yeah,
I would like to shout out all the Pride organizations that we do work with. We work with Bisbee Pride, Flagstaff Pride,
Phoenix Pride, Tucson Pride,
Navajo Nation.
Absolutely.
There is a new Yuma Pride and Chandler Pride. Two new Pride organizations, and there's a new one, Mojave Pride, up in the Mojave County. That just kind of got its. They, I don't know how active Mojave is right now. I know that they did a virtual program last year. So hopefully once things open up a little bit more, we'll start seeing even more new stuff come up. So
I still want to go to Bisbee. We did Story Hour in Bisbee in February of last year. Felicia was there. And I was like, I'm going to come down in June, for Bisbee Pride. I always heard, about how great it is. And then of course that didn't happen.
Then everything happened. I know.
I have been to Bisbee a number of times, and I love it. And I love to shop there.
I know.
When
I
we-
was all excited about Bisbee Pride last year. I was like, I'm going to go to Bisbee Pride for the first time. And then I didn't.
Yeah, we
Shannon,
did the
what
story hour in Bisbee. I remember, Felicia, we did it, and then I was gonna walk around all the shops and everything, and then like started raining.
Oh, I still walked around in the rain,
Yeah.
makeup and all. Did
Because you
it?
still had your umbrella.
Yes, I did. Make fun of me all you want.
I think it's great. I'm here for it. It's versatile. It's an all-season umbrella.
Got to protect from the sun.
All right, yeah. So I think we can, to wrap up here. Yeah, I guess
I have
you got a
one.
question? Yeah.
Yeah. So one word to describe your experience with virtual Arizona Pride. Shannon, you go first.
Dang it. I'm trying to find the right word because the English
We'll move on to
teacher in me.
Becca. We'll
move on to Becca because the English teacher's got to find the right synonym.
Because this means so much to me and what this brings to a lot of people, I will say accessible.
Okay. The three of you.
Comforting.
Oh, I love that.
It gives me like a way to be part of the community without actually risking my family's health.
Love that. Okay.
Yeah. Unexpected, but like the connotation there is good. Yeah.
Love that. Uh-huh.
Trying to find the word for like good anxiety, but my brain is buffering.
Eustress.
No.
Yeah,
Eustress.
It's like the good stress.
The good stress. The good stress. What about you, David?
I think for me, like sustaining, like this has been a thing that's kept me going, through this whole last year. It's given me something just to do and to feel productive and feel useful, and feel connected to the community. So yeah, I think that's a big thing for me. And I saw Julia in the comments said community as well, which I think is
I like
a big one.
I say embracing. Which coming from the Free Mom Hugs hugger, that seems like it would be a gimme. But I think because we've been able to embrace this new way of connecting, and have taken it a direction that I don't think we even dreamed of a year ago.
But you did dream of it. Oh, we lost the three.
I mean,
it was the bedtime.
I think we had this this crazy idea of like, hey, we could do something fun for the weekend, and I don't think we ever imagined. I know I never imagined the connections that I would make with people in this last year through this opportunity, through this experience.
So my word is possibilities. So you may not know. I don't know who's watching, but I have done live streaming since 2012. And for me, I've always wanted people to get online and express themselves more online. But there has always been this norm of we must be in person, we must be in person, we must be in person. Even in my workplace, it has been we must be in person, we must be in person. And I've never said we can't be in person, but we've also needed this community online, because being online is always been more accessible and the possibilities are endless. I can say that I have gotten to know so many people over the years just because they have seen me online first before they saw me in person. So I think that the possibilities, even after we go back to in person, I hope that we are able to continue on the voyage that is virtual Arizona Pride, and continue to give those people in those environments in which Becca talked about, which Shannon talked about, that we are accessible and the possibilities are endless for them because we have created this safe space. And I know as a parent, my kids watch things on YouTube and do things. I don't like go and like check what they're watching. I trust them, but I don't like go and check. But if they're watching something that's good for their soul, like the programming that we're offering, because it is very opening to the heart when you find somebody that is like you, when you don't live in a place that no one is like you, and you are open to that. And I think that if you're not able to get to these prides in which we talked about in your local area, Arizona Pride, virtual Arizona Pride is there for you, with the help and support of those that operate and organize throughout Arizona.
Great. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, I think it's a great way to end it. So thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you, Felicia, Shannon, Becca, Lauren, Griselda, Mac. Thank you all so much. It's good to see you. So for Virtual Arizona Pride in May, we will be doing another of our video projects. What are we doing for May? I totally forgot.
May is about the importance of family support.
Right. Yeah.
When you come out and when you are part of the community, and if you don't have your own family that'll support you, I know a lot of people who will.
Yeah. So so we're gonna be having, as we've done before, if you follow our pages on YouTube and Facebook, we're gonna be having video messages from the community. If you are interested in participating, I think we'll be putting something up soon. If you want to participate,
Felicia will be doing that soon.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah, that's Felicia's thing. And then in June, we're doing our every other month, third Saturday thing. In June, the third Saturday of the month happens to be June 19th, which is Juneteenth. And last year, we did an amazing Juneteenth event that Felicia and our other Shannon Perkins produced. And we're going to definitely do a big thing this year as well for Juneteenth, and of course for Pride as well. So be on the lookout for that in June. And yeah, thank you all.
You're welcome, Katie. Well,
Yes,
Katie said thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just yelled it out.
Thank you, Katie, for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the comments, Julia, Nikki, everybody else who's been watching. And yeah, if you don't already follow us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Virtual AZ Pride. And we will see you all later. Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.